Hello everybody, this is Tina with Tia's Treasures, and today I have for you the March 2025 kit from Simon Says Stamp. I thought this would come in earlier than it did because, they took the money out for it like 2 weeks ago or something, and I've been patiently waiting. I guess they don't set it out till March, which makes sense. But anyhow, yeah, I haven't had any videos out for a bit. So let's see what's in here. Okay, I went ahead and I bought some metallic thread and the matching die set that came with the kit, because I thought it might come in handy. And so let's see what's in the kit, because I really don't remember other than the stamp set. Ooh. I always gotta look at my candy. Green apple. Yum. Okay, stick that in with all the rest of them. And let's see. We get some of the thread like I bought. Some Tim Holtz Ideology metal quote tags. These are always fun. We have an embossing folder. This is pretty. Go either way, turn it around, so instead of the flowers down here and the big, not sure what that is, kind of looks like a succulent to me, but they can go this way too. So either way you want to use it. We have a coupon code. I haven't seen that one before. An envelope. This, I was looking forward to this. One of the main reasons I really wanted this kit this month was these pretty bows. I can get a lot of use out of these. And don't have to cut them apart or anything. Very pretty. And then we've got some pattern paper. Let's take a look at this. Cut aparts. Daisies. These look kind of like, what are those, poppies or pansies? And butterflies. Just a little bit of a pattern there. Little wreath, that's pretty. Flower pots and mason jars and some more cut aparts. Some more just tone on tone paper. Use a card like that. It's a pretty little flower card. Bouquets. Table full of, looks like lavender and, pots and stripes. So that's interesting. Now we get our stamp set, which we have birds. It's called Tweet Friend. And yeah, one of the reasons I got the matching die set over here was because I figured instead of having to mask everything, you've got the bird baths and different birds and the bird house, little, I think, cherry blossoms, 2 of them. And the fact that the big sentiments all have dies as well, I thought made it worth it this month. Well, it sounds like I am losing my voice. Excuse me, take some coffee. It's like middle of the afternoon, but I figured I needed some coffee. I don't know if that helped any, maybe a little bit. We've got half a sheet of bubblegum glitter cardstock. It's very pretty. And then these are Tim Holtz, what do they call them? Tim Holtz, I know they're called something. The 4 single-sided sheets from Tim Holtz Ideology Confections Craft Cardstock. These are the metallics. It's kind of like a golden yellow, a blue, kind of like a copper, and a purple. Nice. I've been wondering about, if I should get some of these, but I have so much cardstock. I've got way too much stuff in my stash for someone who doesn't use it as much as I should. Here is our inspiration sheet. And then we have a couple sheets of Neenah Classic White. I think this is the 110, no colored. I guess we didn't get any colored cardstock because we've got all these metallics. Okay, let's put this aside, and I'm going to have to think about it and come up with some cards. Oh, excuse me. But in the meantime, if you wonder what I've been doing, I've been in a little bit of a creative slump. And so when I heard Tim talk about his creative chemistry classes, I took the first one. I'm signed up for the second one. I haven't started. And so I just made a bunch of tags. And I mean, they're pretty basic, some of them, but I figured some of the stuff, it's basic, but you forget about it. Don't do it that often. And not everything turned out like his did. Some of it, they no longer have product for. Like, let me give you a good example. Let's see. Yeah. There's one that I may do with. This one, right, not that one, come on. And near the end, yeah, I can't find it. Figures. Anyway, there was one where it used a resist paper that he used to have. And so what I did to make that work is I used some resist spray and put, oh, this is it, and kind of put it through a stencil, and then did the technique, which is stained craft resist. So yeah, I painted it. I should have used a different stencil because it went through a little bit, but I don't care. The effect still was pretty good. Used it as a resist, and I like the way it turned out. A lot of it was trying to figure out ways to use current products for things that were discontinued. So there's a few different examples of things I used. And there were some things that I actually found the product that was no longer made, so I went ahead and ordered it. And I've been messing with I did some tags last night, trying to get in the mood. These are really pink. I tried to grunge them up a bit. I guess they're grungy pink. And I've also been just working on a journal. I tore out the first page because I didn't like how that worked, and it started making my pages fall out. I should have just kept it in. I don't know, you know. But anyhow, I don't know that you're that interested in that. If you are interested in any of that and want, me to do a video on any of the things you just saw, let me know. I'll be glad to. In the meantime, let's make some cards, and hopefully I'll have my voice after I drink my coffee. Okay, I went ahead and I cut this piece of foiled cardstock down to, what is that, like 3 3/4 by 5, and I embossed it. Really pretty embossing. And then I went ahead and I cut out the Just a Note. Now, I was looking for some embossing powder I had that would kind of match this a bit. I had some rose gold, but the rose gold was really, it didn't look rose gold to me. And I had some brass, and that's what this was. And I also tried gilded and gold. And then what I did was I mixed the brass and the rose gold, and I came up with this color you're seeing here and kind of there. And I thought the mixed two colors worked better than any of the colors on this chart. Now, I have swatched my embossing powders before. I just thought I would do it again to kind of quickly see, I don't know, what they look like. If that makes any sense. So anyhow, what I want to do with this embossed panel now as well is to take the little bit of a sanding disc I have. I bought a whole pack of them, and I cannot find the whole pack. I just have one that I've been using for a while, and I want to kind of just lightly sand the raised portions of this folder. So we're going to get a little bit of scratching here, but as long as we try to keep it, straight instead of at an angle, it shouldn't be too bad. we're just gonna lightly kind of go over some of this to give it a little bit of character, a little bit of added texture. And if we kept sanding it, we would eventually get to the brown cardstock at the back. What we're seeing right here is kind of a little bit of white showing through. And I don't want to keep sanding it because that will start to scratch up the foil. And I don't like the way that looks at all. So we're just, like I said, staying on the raised bits. We don't want to get over here, up here at all. And just distress that a little bit more. And get that brushed off. I'm going to glue that onto a white card base I have, top folding card base. Hi, I don't know if you can read my hi with all the bumps, but yeah. Normally this is the perfect kind of cardstock to write and glue on. Yeah, I could have probably given this a little bit more dimension with some foam pieces, pop it up, but it's still going to glue down just fine, even with all these little indentations we've got going. And get that centered. And what I want to do is I have a little bit of some Spellbinders Splatter White. So let me get something I can put this on real quick. I could just put it on my glass mat. Doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. I haven't used this in a little while. It's kind of pretty thick there. Gosh, I wonder if it was supposed to be that dry. I don't remember what it was like when I first bought it because it's not that old. But yeah, that's really thick. We're going to add some water to it anyway. But I don't think it was supposed to be that thick. So let me just use a little piece of cardstock to put a little bit of that down. Again, that's way more than I'm sure we needed, just because it is so thick. I think I'm going to end up having to spray some water in here as well. Spray that in there. Get this stirred up. Why am I stirring it with this instead of my paintbrush? I don't know. I think it's just because the first thing I grabbed. Just one of those nights. Okay. We'll grab this right here. Get a little splatter down. Let me move my sentiment. I don't want the splatter on that. And right after I said it would glue down just fine, it's lifting up and making me a liar. I guess I didn't press it down well. Come on. And I am doing a pretty poor job of splattering. I guess that's because normally I don't splatter that much. There are some makers that you see do a whole lot of splatter, and I'm not one of them. But I've just got too much down here not to use it. We're getting some good stuff there. Okay, now let me clean that up. I hate to waste all this, but it is what it is. And I've got it everywhere. Get that all wiped up. Nice little squeaking going on there. Okay. continue to have white splatter all over me. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to, well, might as well try to dry this real quick. Because being as it's on this foil, it's going to take a little bit longer. If it was on regular cardstock, it would already be soaking in. Glue down our sentiment. Get some reverse tweezers and some glue. I think we're going to put it right down in the bottom right. We've got that great big spot there, so why not? The note here, and I'll use just a right above it. This is a simple card and just a note. And I'm going to set that aside, but this is just going to be it for our first card. I think a ribbon would be really pretty on this as well, but don't have one right off the top of my head. So this second card we're going to do is a little bit more complicated. What I have done was I cut out a piece of the pattern paper. I cut it out to 4 by 5 1/4. And again, we got a top folding note card, and I am just using the green pattern paper that came in the kit. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way to use it, but the writing is upside down this way, so we're going to put it on here. And I cut out a little arch with Spellbinders Nested Dome Arches frames. Our next card is going to use another one of these. These are really, really fun. I love them. And I just haven't used them before now. And I've got these little pieces that I colored and then die cut, just basic coloring. That's why I didn't show me doing it. I'm trying to make this video not an hour long, and it takes me a while to color. So I've got our little bird bath and sentiment, sing like no one's listening, and this is just in black, and cherry blossom and a little bluebird. You could make him any color you wanted, but I made him blue. So let's go ahead and we're going to start by gluing this down. And again, I could probably use more dimension in my cards, but I don't do a whole lot of popping up. I don't know if that's because I don't think of it until I'm putting these cards together, and by then, you know, it's a little late in my mind. I guess it's really never too late until they're all together. But that's just how my brain goes. It's like, no, you already started on these. You can't go back now and add foam tape. So I'm thinking with this, isn't that great? Yeah, you can tell I've done creative speaking with all the ums. We're gonna just kind of figure out where our colored in little bird and whatnot are gonna go. Kind of want this up. I might have to cut that cherry blossom a little bit because I don't want that branch going beyond the arch. And then if we put our little songbird there and the little notes there, they're upside down. Are they upside down though? Does it matter? I don't know. I think it does in this case. And then we can put the sing like no one's listening, maybe right in this corner here. And we can move that and make sure it's down far enough. And I think that's what we're going to do. And do I have any? I have some enamel dots. These were from Stamps of Life that just happen to have some light green that I think will work really well. So let's get started gluing down some of this stuff. Put this down first because this will determine where exactly we glue our arch down at. And hopefully I keep everything within the arch and don't put any of these die cuts in places that they don't look good at. This. And the big one here is we're going to have to make sure, come on, my glue doesn't want to stick tonight. What is up with that? I thought it was just that other first card, but no, it didn't want to stick down. So we'll put that there. Got to figure out where to cut this off at. And a little pencil here. Okay. Cut that off there. Hope for the best. Hope I didn't cut too much off of it. Well, we can always take more off, but we can't do that. Can't put it back. Okay, let me put some glue on the back of here. I'm looking for my glue and I've got it down. It's like I don't put it back where it belongs. I have got the biggest mess in on my desk, and the funny thing is, because in my craft room here, I've got all these paper pads and notebooks and all sorts of things. I haven't been able to fire up my kiln and do any enameling, which I love to do, because there's just too much paper in this room right now. I have to move the counter, move all my paper off the counters that are behind me, so I could fire up my kiln. Now I have a fire extinguisher in here, but still I want to make sure any paper is far away from it. So, you know, I'm hoping that I can get to making some enamel jewelry soon. I have not done that in, it's been probably a year, and I miss it. And I've been so busy journaling and doing different things with paper that it's kind of fallen on the wayside. I'm actually going to have to go in my notes again and try to remember exactly what I'm supposed to do, because when I do enamel, I'm not a very, very experienced enameler to begin with. And so it's been so long, I've kind of forgotten things. I'm like, huh. But that's why when you're learning new skills like that, you keep a notebook. And I do have a notebook, and I have lots of different books that will help me out with different settings and whatnot. So I should be able to pick up where I left off. Oh, look at that. My thing's up just a little bit, and that's a little crooked. Oh no, well, that's not good. I guess we're gonna have to move this just a little bit. And it's a good thing the glue dries clear, because I've got a little bitty spot of it right down there. And come on, don't be too crooked. Yeah, there we go. Batting 1,000 tonight on these cards, but you know, if I didn't make mistakes, it would not be me. It would be someone else doing this. I hope you're having what is looking to be spring, pretty much. Okay, it's the end of winter. It might be meteorological spring, but it's still pretty cold around here. It's like we had snow and then rain today, but then it's supposed to be almost I think it's supposed to be like 65 in a few days. It is just weird weather we have in Illinois every year. You know, you go from deep winter into, sometimes I've gone in years past from having the heat on to having to put the air conditioning on. Not my favorite thing. It's like I want to be able to open windows, but I also get miserable if it gets too warm. and my house gets warm really quick. Okay, we got our little music notes there. Love them. And now we're going to glue our sentiment down and then find a spot for those enamel dots. I don't know. I think if it was up to me, though, I would love to just live in someplace hot. I would love, years ago, I always wanted to move to Arizona, but I mean, that's really hot now. I think that's even a little too hot for me. And I don't want to go somewhere where it's humid, though. Humidity and me are not friends. I have very, very curly hair, and it just, I'm a frizzy mess when I am near too much humidity. A little bit could be good once in a while, but to be in it all the time, I think would get old. I think I might have to figure out what's going on with my glue. Why does it want to fight me and not stay stuck? I know it's on there, and it's just, I think this is, yeah, this is Nuvo glue, which is Nuvo, yeah, which is normally pretty good. But for the first time, it does not want to stay stuck down. And I think I'm putting plenty on. Sing like no one is listening. Love this sentiment. I sing like no one is listening, even when there are people listening. And then they've got to tell me, can you not? Because I can't carry a tune. So, you know. And I'm like, no, I am going to sing. I don't care what I sound like. What's the fun of, you know, not being able to sing anything? Let's put a few of these. These are stuck to this paper pretty good. Let's put a few up here, where I love putting stuff in the upper right-hand corner. If you've watched any of my content, you know that. It's my go-to spot for little dots. And we'll put one, come on, maybe, let me see. Should we put one like over here? Yeah. That didn't take too much of a decision. It's like, yeah, why not? We'll put it there. Maybe there. Why not? Maybe down there. Should we put it down? That does give us a whole lot of room. Maybe right there instead. It's like, do I want to use all of this color up? And it's like, what are you saving it for? You've had it forever. You know these are, oh, I don't like the way that looks. One of these is just not in the right place. As long as it comes up, yes it does. Maybe right there. Definitely need another one. Yeah, there's good. And I don't know, should we quit while we're ahead? I think we should. Okay, so this is card number 2. Let me know what you think. And lastly, but not least, we have another simple card. And I have used the pattern paper, another one of the arches, and more pattern paper to cut this out of. I've got the glitter cardstock and the little bow that I cut using the bow die cuts. And I cut out wishing you a happy birthday. I embossed this using rhubarb ink. And then I did end up having to put, I believe, some Versamark over it and clear embossing powder. It soaked into the paper a little too quick, the ink, whatever paper I was using here. My card bases are Nina, but I just grabbed some white paper out of my stash, and it didn't like me using regular ink to emboss with. Now, you can use regular ink to heat emboss, but depending on your paper, sometimes if the ink soaks in too quick, you might just have to go over it with an embossing ink, which is why a stamping positioner, tool is great in those cases. But if you've got like a smoother cardstock, sometimes you're able to just use regular ink and get your embossing powder on there pretty quick, and you don't even need to use the Versamark or any of the Simon Says embossing powder or embossing ink over it. So we're gonna glue this down, and this is this is A2 sized. I didn't cut this down at all. I'm just using the pattern paper, letting that work for us. I thought this was very pretty down here. And I love the way it looks and the way that our little glitter cardstock matches the colors so nicely. And we're going to glue this down first. We don't have to worry about a whole lot of other stuff fitting in this arch like we did the last card. We just have to worry about the glue sticking down. Get that around. And down the edge. And if you want to see me cut out these and show the coloring and stuff like that too, just let me know. I try to sometimes have all this done so there's not a ton of editing that I have to do, and I can get these videos out a little quicker, being as I don't get a whole lot of videos out. Just one of those things. I've just had a block. I've been, just like I said, when I did the unboxing that you saw, I've been just working on tags, doing, went back to the Tim Holtz, beginning with the little class he offered, which I can't think of the name of that right now. It's just creative chemistry. Because I just thought that would be fun to revisit all the little techniques that we take for granted because they're so easy. Sometimes we just forget about them. When you get a creative block, sometimes that kind of stuff helps. And wishing you a happy birthday in the middle of this. I did think about doing some splatter with this as well, but I think I'm going to skip it because it was just a little too thick, and I want to stir in some more liquid into that. I'm just making excuses right now. So I am not. I do have plenty of other stuff I could splatter, don't I? But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep this very clean and simple. No splatter. I don't even think I'm going to put any jewels or enamel dots on this. I could. Got these pink ones here, but yeah. I think we're just going to keep it like this. Wishing you a happy birthday. Again, this was rhubarb colored Simon Says Positively Saturated ink that matches so well with this pattern paper. And I do have all of my ink swatched, and I pulled that out so I could see what color worked best with this. And this is card number 3. Let me know what you think about them. Let me know your favorite. Let me know what you think about the really easy cards I did. If you like this video at all, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, being as I was like MIA most of the month. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. And here we go. Just putting the 3 cards out. And that's it for now, everybody. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.